The recent decision by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Tourism to award a private management concession at Sandwich Harbour has caused a significant public outcry. By imposing a dual fee system where a private concession fee is tacked on two standard park permits, we are effectively pricing ordinary Namibians out of their own national heritage. Given that Sandwich Harbour is a highly dynamic, self-rehabilitating coastal ecosystem, the state's decision to outsource access control and fee collection raises serious concerns about economic exclusion, market monopolization, and accountability. On behalf of affected citizens and local operators, I submit the following questions to the Honourable Minister. 1. How can the Minister justify a dual fee system that prices ordinary Namibian citizens out of experiencing their own national park? 2. What specific value does this private concessionaire add that MEFT lacks the capacity to manage directly? Question 3. How will the Ministry prevent this private operator from unfairly restricting access or disadvantaging competing independent tour guides? Question 4. What is the financial justification for locking the state into a rigid 25-year concession on an unstable shifting coastal terrain? Question 5. What legally binding guarantees exist in this agreement to protect the jobs and livelihood of existing local small-scale tour operators against aggressive corporate displacement? And lastly, what exact percentage of the newly introduced concession fund goes directly into the state's environmental conservation fund versus the profit margins of the private entity? Honourable Speaker, before I submit, since the Minister is here, I would like to humbly request the Minister to come with the ministerial statement on this issue, because it has been ongoing for a long time. I so submit.
Yes, okay. Honourable Member, table the questions. So now we will record only the questions because I don't know, that maybe will be an agreement with the Minister. It's with the agreement with the Minister. Huh? Huh? You still have time. Okay, but it's not on there. That is a question paper. Honourable Kanyemba.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 11th of June 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Defence and Veterans Affairs the following questions. Honourable Speaker, we are very much aware of the ongoing legal battle surrounding the procurement of fuel for the Namibian Defence Force. Specifically, the Ministry's reliance on the private entity to supply fuel despite public outcries. The ongoing court case and questions regarding why the state is not purchasing directly from local oil companies demands urgent accountability. Fuel is a very critical national security commodity, and its procurement must remain cost-effective and strictly aligned with our laws. I therefore ask the Honourable Minister the following questions. Could the Honourable Minister clarify exactly who is currently supplying fuel to the Ministry, and whether any temporary emergency suppliers have been brought in due to ongoing legal disputes? Question 2. Who currently owns and manages the physical fuel storages, tanks, and refueling facilities located at various military bases across the country? Is it the Ministry itself or a private company? Question 3. What is the exact financial nature of the Ministry relationship with the current fuel supplier? Are we operating on a credit facility, or is it the Ministry required to make advance payments, prepaid payments for fuel deliveries? I so submit.
Yes, please table the question. Honourable Mbundu.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 11th of June 2026, I shall ask the Minister of Finance, Honorable Erika Chafuda, the following. I wish to direct the following question to the Honorable Minister concerning the decision by Namibia Post Limited NAMPOS to issue termination notice to fixed-term employees whose contracts are set to expire on the 30th of June 2026. This decision comes at a time when NAMPOS branches across the country continue to experience persistent long queues, service delays, and operational strain. Of particular concern is the impact on vulnerable citizens, especially elderly pensioners, who rely on NAMPOS for their collection of their monthly social grant. Any reduction in frontline staffing under this condition raises a serious question about service continuity, institutional planning, and protection of essential public services in a context where unemployment remains one of Namibia's most pressing social economic challenges. The termination of experienced and actively serving employees appear consistent with both service delivery needs and nation employee priority. Thus I ask the following question. What operational, financial or strategic considerations inform Post's decision to issue termination notice to fixed-term employees despite ongoing service delivery pressures and persistent long queues at branches nationwide? How many employees are affected by this termination notice? That categories of staff are included, and what assessment were conducted regarding the potential impact of their departure on service delivery and pensioner support services? Question 3. In light of continued queues, delays, and risking demand for postal and financial services, particularly services relied upon by pensioners, how does the Minister justify workforce reduction instead of retaining trained personnel already embedded in service delivery? Last question. Does the Minister consider this decision consistent with government stated commitment to job preservation that improve public service delivery? If so, how is this alignment being ensured in practice? I so submit.
Please table the question. Yes, Honorable Mutton.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11 June, I shall ask the Minister of ICT the following. The Ministry of Information and Communication Technology in Namibia is mandated to lead the nation's digital transformation, coordinate government information, and promote ICT growth. Its core purpose is to act as a catalyst for an informed, inclusive, and technologically advanced Namibia, ensuring accessible, reliable ICT services. The Ministry of ICT recently held an ICT summit in the Oshana region and hosted a fundraising gala under the theme Digital Pathways to Reduce Unemployment and Eradicate Poverty. This gala secured pledges of $842,500 Namibian dollars. The Ministry has become exceptionally efficient in hosting dinners, red carpet events, and making bold statements on digital transformation without tangible action. We need to assess our return on investment on these glamorous events, considering fundraising is not part of the mandate of the Ministry. I asked the Honourable Minister the following questions. Considering we were only able to raise $842,500, what was the total cost of the event? I request the following breakdown. Total cost of gala dinner, including sponsorship. Total cost of S&Ts or DSA for all stakeholders and the Minister for the duration of the summit. Yes. Total cost of the summit. If the cost to the taxpayer exceeds the money raised, how is this a good return on investment? And how will this money raised practically reduce poverty and unemployment? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Honorable members, I just want to remind us, please, to resist the temptation to imply all sorts of things in the questions. Let's just pose the questions. Yeah. Honorable Karonda, that's what the rule says. I don't know why honorable members, you keep saying I'm not making the rules as we go along. Honorable Karonda is the oral question you said. Oh, Honorable Karonda, switch off and press again. Honorable Ampanda. Okay, please, yeah, very good. Honorable Haitota.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11th of June 2026, I shall ask the following. Namibia currently ranks as having one of the highest
Can you
rates of
increase
open...
your voice, please? I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay. Namibia currently ranks as having one of the highest rates of open defecation in the world, with approximately 40% of the Namibian households lacking toilet facilities and practicing it regularly. Approximately 40% to 47% of the total population relies on the bush, open fields, or informal dumping sites. While rural areas, particularly the Zambezi and Kavango regions, are heavily impacted with an open defecation rates approaching 76 to 77%. The crisis has also spilled over into urban centers. Informal settlements like Windhoek, Havana, or Swakopmund, DLC, have large populations without access to running water or proper toilets, forcing thousands into open defecation. In light of this public health concerns, I here ask the following to the Minister of Urban and Rural Development. Honorable Minister, has the Ministry identified priority locations for the construction of sanitation facilities? If so, how many? What percent that capital budget allocated to the Ministry has been set aside for this construction? Last question, can the Minister provide a breakdown of construction schedule? I so submit.
Very good. Yes, please table the questions. Yes, so I'm making use of the leftover time from some of the honorable members' questions that were brief. So I now have the opportunity to give the floor to Honorable Lizazi.
Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, good afternoon.
I seek your indulgence for a few minutes. It's with a privilege.
Point of privilege.
Yes.
Okay, let me hear the point of privilege.
All right. Honorable Speaker, when I entered, I was hoping to hear that you are going to tell us and apologize to us for keep quiet. For yesterday, incidents where you called off before the time because the rules were broken. We were supposed to knock off at 17:45, but then we were blocked, and then you went out of the routine of business also, and you did not tell us how and why, because we did not see the reasons of you going out of the routine of the day. Why am I saying so? I am reading from Article 21 of the Namibian Constitution, sub-article 1A, freedom of speech. And we are all representatives of the Namibian people, and we are sent here to represent the Namibian people. And the questions that we pose in this parliament are coming from the masses. Now, when we were blocked yesterday, those questions were also blocked and the time was blocked for them not to be heard in this parliament. Now we are asking...
Now, honorable member, can you please round up?
Yeah.
The point of privilege is too long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you are making a
my
statement.
privilege is to ask the Honorable Speaker that are you going to apologize or not, because the Constitution is very clear. It's
Okay,
statutory
okay.
law.
Now you may take your seat, please, honorable member. You are out of
Who are
order.
you?
You are out of order. Honorable
I'll
member,
use that.
that was an abuse of point of privilege, and it is exactly conduct of this nature that causes the presiding officer to decide not to give the floor on point of privilege, because the rules do empower the presiding officer to not allow a point of order or point of privilege if it is in the view of the presiding officer considered that that is being used to disrupt the proceedings of the House. Now that is the first point. Secondly, the rules empower the presiding officer to suspend the proceedings for the day or to call off the proceedings for the day if the House descends into disorderliness. And thirdly, there is a time limit that is allocated to the items under the rules, and there is a provision under the rules that empowers the Speaker to set a time limit where the rules do not do so. So the presiding officer has set a time limit for written questions, and that time was fully spent on asking questions. Now that matter has been dealt with. I'll proceed to Honorable Kandorodu. Honorable Kandorodu? Oral question. Oh, okay. Now, if it is an oral question, Honorable Kandorodu, put off and press again, because we will start with Honorable Karonda. He was the first one to ask for oral. Or he was just checking to see whether I will give him the floor.
Should I see?
Oh, are you having a written notice of a question, Honorable? I think I saw Honorable...
Mine is oral.
I saw Honorable Karonda first, I think. Yes, I asked him to do that, and then you came and I asked you to do the same. So you are next.
Thank you very much, Comrade Speaker. One quick question to, I think, the Honorable Minister of Finance. Old age pension grant recipients have their grants cancelled on account of a change in how the payments are being made. We are told that those whose grants were cancelled were initially registered manually, and now there's a computerized system, and as a result, a sizable number of these recipients did not receive their money and can also not, therefore, pay for anything or any of the expenses. Is the Honorable Minister aware of this? And if so, how many of these beneficiaries are affected by this change from manual to electronic or computer, computerized system? And how soon can this be corrected? Because there are people who are waiting to receive their money, but if they are to register now, they are told they will have to wait for another 3 months before they can receive anything. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members. I rise to respond to Honorable Karonda's question, clarification. Yes, we are in the process of verifying the legitimacy of beneficiaries of the social grants. A process that is not unusual to us, because even GIPF normally does the verification of beneficiaries. So when we did the verification, we have realized that a sizable number of beneficiaries do not have all the documents that need to be there. So we just wanted to do that verification to ensure that we are really paying the beneficiaries that are also reflected in the National Population Registry system. So we are doing this verification, cross-referencing it to the National Population Registry system. So the verification process has started, and in the event that the suspended beneficiaries are found to be legitimate, we are going to ensure that there's a supplementary payment that has to be made. It's on that basis that we have also sent out a statement yesterday, and today again the regional councils and other authorities are also informing the beneficiaries to be patient. They are being verified at the regional offices, councillors' offices, so that then we have a number that we can all say is a legitimate number of beneficiaries. So those ones who are entitled and they were suspended just maybe because there were some few hiccups, they will get their money, and they will not wait until July to get their money. But those ones who will be found not to have all the documents that are required for one to benefit from these grants, those ones will be told, we have stopped here and you will no longer get any funds from here. I so submit. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Ampanda.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. I have an urgent oral to the Minister responsible for oil, Minister Chitumbe Chance, and I hope, Minister, you follow methodically because it's a very serious issue. One, the supply of fuel in our country is regulated in terms of the Petroleum Products and Energy Act. Now, in terms of that act, regulations have been passed to deal with specifically petroleum products. Now, Regulation 14(1)(e) says that one of the conditions for the wholesale license is that all the relevant import and export of wholesale sale should be obtained prior the supply of fuel to Namibia. Yeah? So it basically means that you must have a license as a wholesale license. And once you have that wholesale license, all the necessary permit, before you could even import fuel into Namibia, you must have received all the necessary approvals. On the 8th of May, Minister, you have published the list of Namibians in the Government Gazette. You have published, you're not aware, there's your signature here. The Government Gazette, Gazette number 8916. You actually published the list of the licensed oil companies or traders specified in Annexure 1. All of them. So in other words, everybody who has an oil license in Namibia is known, and you have published it. We thank you very much. We now know who has licenses in our country. Then on the 21st of May, you wrote a letter to the Namibia Oil Industry Association. You are simply saying that government has made an arrangement that Vitol will be the sole supplier and have a full mandate to supply Namibia's petroleum product requirement. Vitol SA Pty Ltd. Now remember, you have already told us who has a license. The regulation and the law says that for you to supply and import, you must have a license. Then on that day, you indicate that this is an arrangement. Now, Vitol will be supplying. On the list that you published, Minister, Vitol does not exist. Vitol does not have a license in Namibia. Now, let's assume, could Vitol had a license in maybe some mysterious ways? It is not possible, because in terms of those specific regulations, again, in order for you to qualify to get a license, in terms of those specific regulations, there are two things. You must be Namibian. One is that an entity must be Namibian. You must be Namibian. If it's a legal, if a juristic person, you must be registered in Namibia. in order to get the license. So number one, we know now that Vitol does not have a license according to to the license we were published. But even if overnight Vitol got a license, it's not possible because you must be Namibian and you must be registered in Namibia. Vitol, we have checked with VIPA, Vitol is not registered in Namibia. So it's not possible for Vitol to get a license. Now, effectively it's very important. Now, effectively, what that directive have done also is that since Vitol was given the sole mandate to supply all these petroleum products, it basically meant that the licenses of others who have a license to import fuel in Namibia, that portion has been suspended. Is it possible for the minister to do that? Absolutely not. It's not possible. Because the regulation 31 says that the minister may not cancel or suspend a license or a certificate unless the minister has informed the license holder, setting out the failures and asking that person an opportunity to be heard. That letter of the 21st of May was written on the 21st of May and everybody was given a date of 21st of May, 10 o'clock. So that letter was received by some at 9 o'clock. The due date that must comply is 10 o'clock. Now, so we now know that Vitol doesn't have a license. We now know that it's not possible for them to get a license unless they are not registered in Namibia. We also know that the effect of cancelling the conditions of, including NAMCO. NAMCO cannot import. With their license, they cannot import in terms of this direct, because of this sole mandate. Now, interestingly,
Honorable,
yes, I'm concluding.
Must be summarized.
Yes, so that I'm concluding, so that because when I'm asking the question, I understand, Speaker, or conclude, because the minister must be able to understand where the question is coming from.
The honorable members are disturbing me and you there.
Okay.
Can they just please?
Yes, they will keep quiet now, Speaker. Now, the letter of the 21st of May says the person that government has given a sole mandate unlawfully, illegally, is Vitol SA Ltd Pty. I guess maybe you want to say Pty Ltd. Now, the person who's negotiating actually the terms and condition of bulk petroleum product supply is Vitol Bahrain. Government announces that is Vitol SA. The person who's negotiating the terms of engagement is actually Vitol Bahrain. So none of them, Vitol Bahrain doesn't have a license here. Vitol SA doesn't have a license. It's also not possible for them to get a license because they are not registered in our country. It's also not possible for you to interfere with the license without giving them. And this is the dilemma as I'm coming to the conclusion with my question. This is a dilemma that the 8th administration put us in. You identify the correct problem. You identify the correct problem, and we agree with you on that. But you use the wrong method to address the correct problem. Now, that is the dilemma that put us in. Because then you don't know what to do. The problem must be addressed, but you are using the wrong method. It means somebody beats my father, I must just go and beat them, not go to the police. Right? So I therefore ask the minister the following in conclusion. 1, is the minister aware, number 1, that the decision to award Vitol in terms of the letter of the 21st of May is unlawful in terms of the laws of Namibia? Because 1, doesn't have a license. 2, it's not possible for it to have a license in terms of our law. That's the first one. Number 2, is the minister aware the effect of the 21st of May letter is that you actually suspend the condition of all those people that have been licensed? When the Regulation 31 prescribed the process, you can still do that, but you could have done it differently. Lastly, is the minister aware that you have awarded Vitol SA, but the one who is negotiating is Vitol Bahrain?
Yes. Honorable Minister. Yeah.
We are going to answer.
Honorable members, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you very much, Honorable Ampanda, for the question to give me an opportunity to clarify. One, there is only one Vitor having an administrative office in South Africa and is registered as Vitor Bahrain, which has been supplying oil or petroleum products to Namibia for the last 6 years. Now, Vitor is an international supplier that supply the industry for either spot buying and have been supplying the 4 wholesalers licensed, as you have stated there, for a longer period. Indeed, some of them also have written agreements with Vitor to supply them with petroleum products. And those licenses are still valid. I mean, the agreements are still valid. Thank you. Yeah, those who have agreements with Vitor. Now, for Vitor to supply petroleum products to the Namibian market, they don't need the minister to license them, because the minister licenses institutions, wholesalers and retailers who retail or who do business with petroleum products within the Republic of Namibia, within the boundaries of the Republic of Namibia. Whether they import or they want to export, that's what the minister licenses. But where they take the products from, like in the case of Vitor, because Vitor is not supplying within Namibia. Vitor is evacuating the petroleum products from the source towards the ports of Walvis Bay, from where the others would take the products from those who are licensed as usual. It's not a new arrangement for Vitor, or it's not new in the industry of petroleum products or to supply to Namibia. They have been supplying to the same people. Now, I also want to clarify something. The letter Honorable Member is referring to is probably a reminder. There has been meetings between the minister himself and the industry player, including the association itself. They have no problem with the arrangement. Indeed, the arrangement for bulk fuel supply is a submission by the wholesalers themselves already in 2023. It's not a new something that they have agreed to or submitted to government. Government only activated what the industry already wanted. And indeed, they have made their offers because they were in agreement. We had meetings, we discussed the issue. So they participated in the process. I see no legal problem with the arrangement as far as that is concerned. And indeed, I should also inform this August House that is the route where we are going to. Because the route for bulk fuel supply is actually to remove premiums from the products, so that we end up only paying the basic fuel price instead of allowing the end consumers to pay basic fuel price in addition to premiums. So I'm not sure whether I have answered your question to your satisfaction, Honorable Member, but really that is what it is. And good enough, I'm happy to say we are saving 1 billion, Honorable Speaker, with that arrangement.
Thank you. Honorable Kandarodu? Oh, Do you have a follow-up question, Honorable Antonio? The Honorable Kandorobe, just 1 minute.
Yeah, so the issue, I'm not going to spend time on intention. We're already clear. We agree that you're addressing the problem. We are saying you're addressing it the wrong way. Now, what I want you to, just to clarify, it seems we are missing each other, is that the regulation, the law of the day says all relevant import and export and wholesale sale of fuel approvals and permits as required under the Act or any other applicable law shall be obtained prior to any import into, export from, and wholesale fuel in Namibia. Now, what has happened, why it wasn't a problem, how you're explaining it, is that those 4 wholesale licensees, those ones with those licenses, where they are getting the fuel from, it doesn't matter, correct? Because they have a license to import. What you have done with the letter is to interfere with this. Because you are saying not NAMCO, not Vivo, not Puma, not those 4, but Vitol. Vitol doesn't have a license in terms of regulation, of the regulation 14.1e. Those other ones, the 4 of them had. That's where we are missing each other.
Okay.
Those one
the time is finishing, otherwise he won't be able to.
No, yes, I'm clarifying. So that's the first thing, is that those other ones, the law was not violated at all before, for all those years, because those ones were utilizing their licenses. The effect of this letter is that it's only Vitol. Now, Vitol doesn't have a license. You don't dispute it. You are saying Vitol doesn't need a license. Those other 4 had the license. That's why there wasn't an issue where they are sourcing it from, because they have a license to import from whoever, even including Jesus. The problem is, this guy who came in now doesn't have a license like them. So you suspend them over this one. So
the person must answer now, the minister must answer.
No, that's why I'm trying to clarify that. That's where we are missing each other. These guys don't have a license to do that, because the regulation requires anybody, including Vitol, to have a license in terms of that specific regulation. Now, unless you are saying, maybe where we can find each other, unless you are saying this letter, maybe you are using wrong words, sole mandate and full mandate. If you can confirm to me here that, Minister, that those are clear to you. So if you are saying, Minister, that sole mandate doesn't mean. If you are saying Minister doesn't understand, you are just, I'm trying to get an answer. So if Minister, you are saying sole mandate, sole supply and full mandate does not suspend the condition of other license. If that's, what's wrong with you?
Yes,
so if you are saying Minister, that maybe the language here of sole mandate doesn't suspend, I will be satisfied to say that the licenses of all those other suppliers, including state-owned NAMCO, is still intact. That will be the issue. Maybe those aspects, if you can just clarify those aspects of the language.
The time is up now, and I cannot give the minister the floor to respond. No! Honorable members, why do you think you seem to be the only one with the right? The rules allocate. No, Honorable Minister, please take your seat. The rules prescribe 20 minutes for urgent oral questions. I note that the issue is a topical one, but I want to emphasize a point that I had made on another day, specifically on this issue, because I can see the member is very passionate when he is raising the issue. It is very clear that the member is concerned by something that the minister said in response. He feels that it does not address the concern. And I have said in this house on numerous occasions, questions is intended only to probe, to query, so that we can get answers. But if the answer, gives you an impression that something is not right, there is an opportunity in terms of the rules that the matter can be pursued further. And that cannot be through questions and answers. So what is happening here now is no longer a questions and answer. The question has been posed, the answer has been provided, or obviously the member is concerned by certain aspect of that answer. But that is not a follow-up question, it's a statement of what is, looking like a fact. It has to be established whether it's effective. But in terms of the rules, I make a ruling that this matter, Honorable Member, that we are out of time now. The question, okay, what do you like to do now?
Minister, to clarify, maybe you're saying I'm passionate about it, and because of that, you might not have heard what I'm asking for clarification. I ask him to clarify two things. One is that the rules still require Vitol. That's the second aspect, is that if the minister can just confirm to say the letter does not invalidate the existing licenses on a sole mandate and sole supplier. That's what I asked the minister to clarify. Only those two areas. The other aspect would have been addressed instead of some committees that don't see that.
Honorable Member,
and the minister wants.
I hear you, Honorable Member. We are out of time on this issue. The discretion is not forced. It's not forced. So, Honorable Members, please, the time is up. I can no longer receive questions on the matter. So now I have to proceed. Notices of motions. No, the time is up. The minister is not given the floor by the presiding officer, because the time for urgent oral question it is not about him wanting to answer. He has to be given the floor by the president. He is not given. You are out of order, Honorable Member. Yeah. No. Notices of motions. Notices of motions. Time is up. Unfortunately, Honorable Member, you can't ask anymore. The time is up. There is no time for questions anymore. No. Yeah. Honorable members, can we first, you see, everything starts with compliance. It starts with compliance. It becomes difficult for the presiding officer to exercise flexibility, to extend the time. If the presiding officer is pressurized through a conduct which is disrespectful and unprocedural. Now, notices of question. My honorable brother, please take your seat. The time is up for questions. Notices of motions. Okay, Honorable Lucato, is that a notice of a motion? Please proceed. Within 20 minutes. You are out of order, Honorable Member. You are out of order. No, you are out of order. Honorable Member, not this way. I can't answer you this way. You sitting down and just firing questions. Okay, Honorable Members, can we pursue it another time? Not now. You are now sitting down. You are engaging me. I don't want to shut you down. Honorable Member, I don't want to shut you down. I don't want to suffocate the questions. I'm just saying, hear me out now. I'm saying the question time is over and we are now with the notices of motions. Let's try to see where we can give each other's clarity. Yeah. No, now you are not in order now, Honorable Member. No, Honorable Member, can you please just let the Honorable first to move a notice of motion? Yeah. No, because Honorable Member, we have exceeded the time. Yeah, we are behind time, and the Honorable Members should please assist me. Honorable Lucato is on the floor, and please, he may continue with his notice of motion.
Honorable Speaker, Members of Parliament, today, Thursday, 4 June 2026, I hereby give notice that on Wednesday, 10 June 2026, I shall move that this August House discuss and agree the motion on the safety and the security of members of the legislative state organ. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, the Honorable Member may table the notice, please, because I'm being disturbed here. I didn't hear what the member is saying. Honorable Mr. Can I have it? Honorable Haikola, on a notice of a motion. Oh, okay, so we first proceed with the notice of motions. Honorable Kambara, notice of a motion.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby move in terms of Rule 124B read together with Rule 76(1)(c), the setting rules and orders that Honorable Bino Tafeni Hangula be granted leave of absence from the day 4th of June until the notice.
Yes, thank you. You may table the motion. Yes. Yes, honorable members, I would just like to indicate that in terms of Rule 76, Rule 76, the Assembly may grant a member leave of absence, A, that the member's illness renders the member unable to comply with his or her duties and functions, B, the member's close family member contracted a serious illness or died, C, the member must attend to urgent matters, D, the member must attend to parliamentary activities and functions or must go on public or official business, or E, the member is excused by the Assembly for any other reasonable cause, and F, the member's chief whip or party whip agrees. So what this rule actually says is it must be stipulated what the reason is that the member cannot attend the sitting. So a member cannot just say we ask for leave until further notice. It's not correct. It's not me, it is the rule. That's why I read it out to you. Yeah, I read it out to you. Okay, now, Honorable, you had a what point of, on what point do you want to raise? Oh, okay, just let them.
Honorable Speaker, I'm very happy that we are following the rules as you have stated or referred us to Rule 76. Now, I would like to refer, Honorable Speaker, to Rule 135 under age and oral questions. So the rule says the presiding member may allow time for urgent questions to minister on any sitting day. 2C must, as far as possible, be answered immediately. So the question that the honorable member, Honorable Prof. Mbanda, have asked Honorable Amse was not answered immediately. So, Honorable Speaker, I would like Honorable or the Minister to answer the question as per the rules. Urgent oral questions must be answered immediately, Speaker, not any other days. Thank you.
Yes. Now, Honorable Member, take your seat. First, you are out of order with that. I listen to the member without an interjection. And I would like you to listen to me without an interjection. The member is out of order for the following reasons. First and foremost, in terms of Rule 185, time limits. Is it 85 or 80? No, you don't tell me how to rule. What is the time limit? In terms of time limits, 185, Rule 85, there is a time limit of 20 minutes given for urgent oral questions. So that provision which the honorable member referred to, that the urgent oral question which may, not must, may be allowed by the presiding officer, those questions are to be asked and answered within a maximum time of 20 minutes. So the presiding officer exercised discretion to allow an urgent oral question, allowed the member to answer the question, allowed the asking member to ask a follow-up question, and as that process was unfolding, the time lapsed. Yeah. Honorable members, I am not going to continue with further. Honorable Theophilus, you now have the floor with a notice of a motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on 16 June 2026, I shall table the Data Protection Bill. I so move, Honorable Speaker. Please table the
Honorable Mbundu. Honorable Mbundu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 11th of June 2026, I shall move that this House discusses the following. The introduction of Odometer Protection Act, or alternatively the amendment of the Road Traffic and Transport Act 1999 to criminalize odometer tampering, protect consumer and regulate the sale of imported used vehicle in Namibia. The motion will further call for compulsory mileage verification of imported vehicle, stronger penalties for dishonest dealers, and remedy for buyers who suffer prejudice through false mileage representation. I shall further move that the motion be adopted and referred to the relevant Parliament Standing Committee for further scrutiny and report back to this August House. I so move.
Yes, Honorable Member, please table the question. Or rather the motion. Yes, Honorable Izazi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I seek your indulgence on the point of privilege. Just 2 minutes.
No, 1.
Okay, 1 minute. I go to Rule 117. That shows the routine of the day. I don't see time allocation for every item. I wanted to understand there because every day when we come, you place 20 minutes for both written and oral questions. So why so? Because the only questions that have time limit is the oral questions, urgent oral questions. These ones are on the routine of business. There's no time allocation for any item there. Where did you drive that? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member, I don't know what time limit you are asking, where I derived the power to put a time limit, but let me just say the following. The rules provide time limits for issues specified under, is it Rule 85? Is it 185? And then Rule 8 says, where these rules do not make a provision, the presiding officer may make a ruling. And I came to this House sometimes back and I made an announcement setting time limits for a number of issues for which the rules had not set a time limit. And those included, and I have a list here which I read in this House, written notices of questions, a total of 20 minutes, because the rule only provides for urgent oral questions. And then I say the 2 sets of questions will now together have a total of 40 minutes. Then I said notices of motion, a total of 20 minutes. 3 minutes limit is set per individual notice of motion. Then ministerial statement, where there was no limit, I set a time limit of 20 minutes. Total time allocated, 20 minutes. Yeah, reports, 20 minutes. Yes, so total time limit is 20 minutes. I made an announcement in that regard. Now, having said that, it is time to go for break. Honorable, for 20 minutes. Now, when we come back, Honorable Member, it's... No, I have something to do during break. Honorable Member, please, after the tea break. Okay? Yes, May we please take our seats? Okay. Then we continue. Was the Honorable Ampanda asking for a point of privilege? 1 minute, please. Then we proceed.
Yes. Speaker, you are a wonderful person. You are not a bad person. And these members here are also not bad people. They've been elected, and some of them had to establish political parties. A very difficult thing to do. So this parliament is a parliament that is almost at half. The majority party has 53%, and somebody else has 47%. So it says we need one another. So one thing that is not working in my 1 minute that you have given me is that it seems when we say let's find a platform or some way, that conversation is always not complete. So we need to find a way where that conversation can actually complete. And I'm not convinced that it's standing rules. Standing rules, since we came for 2 years, it has never finished an agenda point because it's another conference that is there. So I think we will all agree that we are a parliament of a consensus. Consensus is not meant to oppress anyone. The majority is known as the majority. It will always be a majority until the next election. But consensus, it is important, and all of us need to find a way. I'm not dictating anything to anyone, but we need to certainly find a way for something. Definitely got to give, and all of us are required to do that. I'm just appealing that Chief Whip Forum, standing rules, I'm not convinced that it will assist us. And I know all these members of parliament, the stories of the order paper, questions, I have confidence that this parliament can find a solution. But this back and forth, who's right and wrong, always will not assist us. That's just my appeal. Speaker.
Very good, thank you. Let me assist by just saying this. I think it will all depend on what the issue is. If we have a specific issue, we can cite that issue. And then depending on the nature of the issue, we can agree what platform to use. I'm happy that you referred to the challenges that we face with the Standing Rules Committee. It is very big, and it is difficult to get everybody to participate and also go through the whole agenda. And that's why we have struggled. And I hope as we go along, we will try to find a solution that can be a combination of managing our deliberations better, because if you see the Parliament of India, there are many, but they all manage to say what they have to say. But there are also other mechanisms that we can look at to structure our structures properly so that we can make meaningful input. That's one. That's now on the generalities. But today when I made a comment, it was with regards to a specific issue, which was the issue of Vitol. Now, if we have an issue of an executive nature, one platform could be to meet with the Prime Minister's office and the relevant ministers concerned to discuss specific issues, specific party leaders or members of parties as delegated by those members. When I was Prime Minister, there were instances where members came to see me. I see you meeting the President. There is also the platform of the Chief Whips, depending on what the issue is. But if there is a specific issue, I'm open for people to ask for ideas, and I can make a suggestion. It's up to the members to decide whether to agree or not to agree. But I just want to agree, besides the issue of, yes, we have the numbers, whether you have 51% or 97%, more, as long as you have more than one stakeholder, it is always in the interest of the country to hear all the views that are out there. Because even in cabinet, even in SWAPO, even in your parties, I'm sure you debate issues. So you listen and you take out what is constructive, because the interest is only to optimize the interest of Namibia. So if we can agree there, we can follow up on these specific issues, and when we can try, and my view is Office of the Prime Minister can be one approach specifically on the issue of Vitol. To facilitate for that discussion. Any other issue, we can hear what the issue is, and then we can agree on how we proceed with it.
Thank you, Speaker. Maybe I hear you, Speaker. perhaps we should commit to a formal meeting, because we've tried those chief whip meetings, and yeah, so chief whips forum doesn't exist in terms of our rules anyway, but maybe a commitment from our side is to see if we can consult with the leader of official opposition. He's our senior on this side. They are looking at each other there and then, so that we could actually have structures. I'm suggesting 2 structures, because you chief whips are chief whips, and majority of party leaders are not at those platforms, and there's no guarantee you get all these chief whips, and when they go back, they are chastised by their party. How can you agree to something like that? So maybe let's commit, we will commit to consult and maybe get a framework that we could propose to the office of the speaker also on our part, through the consensus that we are also talking about, and say this is the formula that we think can work. But we do hear you, and try and propose some sort of codified formal structures that can solve some of that. Because if I have to concede on an issue that I'm passionate about, I must be convinced that the platform that I'm being referred to would eventually work, and it does exist. So maybe we will commit on our part to consult and hear the views of others, and we can have a codified mechanism that we can all of us consider and approach your office, and then for the generality of the entire parliament to resolve it. But we do hear you.
Very good, thank you. Now, Honorable Prime Minister, before you come in, I just want to so that we can move to you, to say under Rule 27, responsibilities of Speaker, 27(1)(b) says, whenever possible, consult with relevant office bearers. So that doesn't specify whether it's chief whip, whether it's leader of a political party, in structures within the assembly to achieve its efficient and effective functioning in a transparent and an accountable manner. Now, that consultation can never override what is provided for under the rules. If the rules say exceeding of a time limit has to be agreed upon at the chief whip's platform, you cannot do it with speaker. Even if you consult with speaker, you must go back to the chief whip in order to formalize it, because it's only if it goes through the chief whips that it can be endorsed. The second one, and most important, is the rules reign supreme. And if the rules say you take decisions either by consensus or by vote, it means even if you meet with the Prime Minister and the Speaker and you agree, and we come to this house and one member on either side of the house does not agree, and when the Speaker asks a question, is there any objection? Somebody say there is objection. The Speaker cannot say we agreed at another platform. So that's the only thing that we need. But what is important is when we consult, we are less likely to disagree. When we consult, we are likely to understand each other. And even when we disagree, we will not be disagreeable. So it is a good thing to discuss. It's a good thing to build consensus. Now, having said that, Right Honorable Prime Minister, you have the floor.
Where we have 3 branches of government. One is to make the laws, one is to interpret, one is to implement. So the one that makes the law is this one here. And Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I would not be convinced that we here, we do not know what it is that we are entrusted to do. And oftentimes I wonder, these simple books is for us here. This other book is for the National Council. Just these simple books. We expect those who are in school all over Namibia to obey and follow certain rules. But here we are every day. We will take a whole lot of time sometimes talking real things, which is very good, but sometimes we know what we are talking is not productive. It's ourselves here. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, I really, because it's an appeal, if it is all of us, we go back to our conscience and realize truly what the Namibian people, or why they send us in this August House, I don't think there will be a problem here. But it's just that every day maybe we want to show who can speak English better than this one, or we want, whatever it is we want to achieve, whatever it is we think, whatever it is we think we want to achieve. So I think, honorable members, if it is this book, I think let's just converge on it. And if we don't agree with what is in here, let's also toss it out and amend it to make what we think will be agreeable. Because if we continue on this, we can talk, we can say, let's meet. I have seen very good, even when we meet the chief whip, there was a time we met. And when we met, the discussion was super. Yes, the discussion was very good. Implementation, completely the opposite. So since we come in every day to pray, I just hope that this prayer that we made today will be more implemented. Thank you.
Yes, no, we are here to debate according to the order. We are now on point of privilege. You have the floor, please, for 1 minute.
Yeah, no, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to add my voice that
Honorable, I need the member to speak, please.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, the only extension of this House is the committee work meetings and the whole House committee. What is the main committee one? But the proposition that you are stating rules, the proposition you are bringing forward, I'm afraid, I hope we are not on the road to implement that. We came here to represent the people, and if we are coming here with the issues of the people, we must discuss them here.
Very good, thank you. Thank you.
So going to the office of the Prime Minister and that, I don't think that is the correct approach to why we are here. So let us continue. What we are imploring you to do is to continue providing leadership with consistency. And
okay, thank you very much, Honorable.
As a presiding officer,
I
and
am.
not a member of
I
Parliament.
am. You are making accusation. Please,
for example.
No. Now you are out of order, Honorable Member. You are now out of order. No. You are now out of order. No. Thank you very much. I just want to say I never proposed anything. I read what the rules are saying. The rules are saying, and I want silence, please, colleagues. The rules are saying, honorable members, can I have your support, please? This side, can I have your support? Yeah. Now, responsibility of speaker. I just quoted what is in here. I'm not proposing anything. The speaker under 27(1)(c), B, whenever possible, consult with relevant office bearers and structures, and then leader of government business in Parliament. The Prime Minister is the leader of government business in Parliament, and under 41, the Prime Minister liaises with the Speaker and government chief whips on business of the House, assists the government chief whip to maintain the decorum of the House. So I'm only citing things which are in the rules. So, and it is not by force that members are going to be summoned to the consultations. Those that want to come, if Honorable Ampanda has an issue, he's welcome to come and cite this. When you are willing to do so, you do so. We are not changing anything. So now, Honorable members, we proceed. Any notice of motions? We were done, eh? Yeah, ministerial statements. Okay, report, Honorable Nekundi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, The Ministry of Works and Transport has noted that the use of electronic vehicles in Namibia is on an increase, primarily in Windhoek Central area. The ministry, through its engineering division, has installed an electronic vehicle charging station at its headquarters in Windhoek. This initiative was developed and designed by the ministry's in-house engineers and is aimed to serve as a study case that will inform the possible future EV network charging stations deployment nationwide. As a custodian of government immovable properties, the ministry is suitably positioned to develop an extensive charging stations network nationwide, with a view of catering for a future electric vehicle government fleet and possibly the public at large. Therefore, the government employees, including the members of parliament, who wish to charge their electronic vehicles at this station are requested to register at the Office of the Director, Capital Project Management, Office 104, first floor, at the Ministry of Works and Transport headquarters for utilization. For further information, please kindly contact the Executive Director. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister, for the ministerial statement. I think the issue is more complex than that, and I want just to ascertain whether you are alive to, and by extension your colleagues, because it's the conversation generally about when you have a vehicle and the amount of money that you pay, you know, energy fund and what when we fuel our cars, when the calculation of how much you pay per liter, there's a serious component there then. So the conversation about electronic cars and which is what I want to ascertain to what extent is not as simplistic as just having a charging station and we celebrate that. It basically means then that the more, if you have many electronic cars, that means a reduction on that measure fooder conversation about that. So I want to see to what extent, yes, while we are celebrating that, to what extent are we actually thinking about the general implication? You know, the general implication of what it is. Almost the conversation that many Namibians are having about polygamy. The Minister of Justice is afraid to bring. What would be the conversation? What would be the impact of a decision like that to a society? What would be the impact of electricity and electronic cars? Is there a conversation between yourself and other portfolio ministers? Because it's not a simplistic thing. We celebrate that. The city of Windhoek also have a charging station. But the broader implication, it has financial, it has regulatory framework, or anybody can just come and charge. Because change is important, but it's also very complex. So to what extent are you engaging this subject matter with the Minister of Energy and the Minister of Finance on this issue?
Okay, Honorable Haikola.
Yes, in fact, I'm just building on his questions because of the implication that these cars can also bring, how even though it's actually a very good initiative to say, so we should commend your ministry on that. My two questions are just, these registrations, are they for free, or is there a certain amount of money that the people are expected to bring when they are registering? And also, when you are charging your car, is it free? How much will it be? Will this information be given? because I understand now it's just the registration, so it's very important all this information also to be dished out at an early stage. Secondly, like I said, it's a very good initiative. When is it going to be extended to other regions? It's only that Honorable Shifeta is not here, the previous Minister of Environment and Tourism. We had a discussion about these electronic cards, and one of the discussion was to extend it also to other regions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I appreciate the gesture of going futuristic, really. And it's something that the nation has been waiting for. I'm just concerned how much of the effect that would do to our grid and the cost-wise as it has been indicated. I'm stating so because of the price of electricity, the escalation of it as it stands already. What are the implications and how much do we have to fork out for this extra? What are the numbers? How many people are we expecting to cater? Is this a pilot project? Are we planning to go somewhere with this? And what will it cost for those that are going to apply? And what are the requirements? What are they expected to bring with when they are coming to apply? Because I'm asking this because a layman out there might be willing to start applying already. And finally, when are they expected to start that application so they can start coming in? So thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Minister of Works.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and the members who have raised those important questions. The issue, as you have heard in the statement, the second paragraph exactly says it's a case study we are doing now. So therefore, once the window was successful, we'll start rolling it out to the regions. Secondly, it's a solar-based, so it has no effect on our grid. So it's a solar-based in-house design, so it has no effect to that. Both registration and charging is for free, and it has started. It's for free. Registration and charging is for free. You can do it at any moment you so desire. Yes, that's why we on Bampanda. That's why we are now doing. It's a piloting. We are doing the studying and all that. We then do a comprehensive understanding of all the elements of implications, be it positive implications, negative implications, the economic perspective of that, on the pockets of individuals, and all these things will then be derived from this process. So after a period, the colleagues in the engineering department will then do compilations and will also be presented to the public in that regard. Above all, is that to appreciate that sometimes you cannot stop certain processes. So things are moving fast. Electronic vehicles are real. They are coming in the markets. They are unstoppable. They are coming in, and as we speak, quite a number of electronic vehicles are already in Namibia. So, but to the extent that will, depending on the study or the findings, the ministry concerns, the finance and mines, so will also be consulted, and also how to really, if it's going to be now, be more broader, how that has implications on the revenue streams. Because the revenue stream from the current levies, it has an impact on the road safety, on the road constructions, maintenance of roads, and many others. MVA, they are all some implications. So therefore, once that is done, a concept paper will be developed, and then will then develop mechanisms in moving forward in the hybrid proposition. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Very good. Yes, last one, please.
It's just a quick question. It's on the issue of cost. How much did it cost to put a thing like that up, Comrade Minister?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, at this moment I do not have the cost that was involved to develop this, but if you do not have in mind, I can provide to you Or if you want to bring it here, I can bring it on Tuesday at the initial start, with the permission of the speaker, and then I can inform you through the platform. But I'm willing to share that information.
Very good, thank you. Now we proceed, honorable members, reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly and consequential proceedings. Orders of the day. The secretary will now read it. Oh, today being Thursday, the questions has priority. Honorable members, I hope you all have yours. It's a thick book, and I hope that one day we will reach an agreement to just put aside all questions and try to tackle this question paper. Otherwise, there is no purpose in asking questions. Honorable Ampanda, now we have too much little time now for the questions. What is it? Yes.
I just want, so at one point, I always hear a report, maybe from your experience, because we have had an all-house committee, and immediately after that, people report progress, and then we go. So at what point are we where in that thing of a report of all-house and consequential proceedings? What is that report, and when is it likely to come? I've never heard it since we came, or does it exist, or like a report of the Whole House Committee?
Yes.
We have never.
Okay. I will give an example. A Whole House Committee is a whole assembly committee, like that committee that we go into when we are done with the general debate of a bill. So instead of referring to a standing committee on standing rules or something, we go into an all-house committee. So a report that comes out of that committee is a report that is tabled at this time. So if we don't have anything that was at the all-house committee, there is no report to give. But the presiding officer cannot assume and not read out something. I always give an opportunity in case there is something. But there is nothing at this point. So now we go to the questions, honorable members. The first question on the order is 125 by Honorable Karangula to the Minister of Works and Transport. Honorable Karangula, do you put the question?
I so put, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister of Works and Transport. 125.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member. Must I read out the question or just the answer? Okay, thank you. Honorable Member, as leaders of this country, just as other countries around the world, we must know what to publish and when to publish. Aviation industry is highly complex and competitive. Therefore, we must understand and appreciate the strategic scope and framework required to enter such a complex and competitive industry. Therefore, at this stage, unfortunately, we are unable to reveal much. However, I can confirm that the feasibility study is done and is now under review. We had budgeted for about $20 million, of which less than 4% have been utilized to that effect. The study was conducted by the inter-ministerial team of experts, and the study was conducted during the current financial year, that's now the previous financial year. Let the Honorable Member keep busy with Namibia reports as we are moving with Namibia Air feasibility studies and subsequent establishment thereof. We are focused and we are moving forward. The next one, the team is composed of experts with varying degrees of expertise, including 3 in aviation with a total of over 50 years of aviation experience. The committee also has lawyers, transport economics, and governance experts. Finally, the committee is in place, composed of experts from the Ministry of Works and Transport, Ministry of Finance, Office of the Attorney General, Namibia Airport Company, Namibia Civil Aviation Authority, members from aviation industry, and the NIPBA DB. We are making progress and the nation will be formed at the most appropriate time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
There is your answer, Honorable Member. You have a follow-up question? Okay. Please speak to the point. And
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To the point indeed, I would just like to appreciate that finally we have an answer to the question that I have been waiting for. And I understand that it is a complex. And of course, through the Honorable Minister, they themselves also put it out to the media. The public is the one that wants to find out. I'm an aviation expert myself, surrounded with others that are equally concerned. Who is guiding you? We ask these questions so we can recommend solutions and to aid the executives into implementing these plans that they have. On that note, I saw submit and I expect to hear more from that angle. We hope to see if the relaunch will definitely take place in 2026. So thank you.
thank you. The next question is 130 by Honorable Swartboy to the Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy. Does someone put the question on behalf of Honorable Swartboy?
Honorable Speaker, yes, I do.
Okay. Honorable Minister, are you ready to respond?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, with respond to this question as posed by Honorable Swartboy. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable member's first question relates to whether the Ministry have conducted an assessment on the impact of synthetic diamonds on the Namibia's diamond sector and its revenues both in the short term and long term. And I will go to the answer. Yes.
Okay. Honorable Minister, you need not repeat the questions, ne? You can just go to the answers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes, the Ministry, together with partners such as the Beers African Diamond Producers Association and Kimberley Process Certification Scheme, have consulted on the potential impact of synthetic diamonds on Namibia's diamond sector. The findings suggest that while synthetic diamonds are gaining traction globally, the demand for natural diamonds, particularly high-quality, ethically sourced stones, such as those from Namibia, remains resilient. So the penetration of synthetic diamonds into the retail jeweler sector globally has had a profoundly negative impact on our diamond business, and this has caused prices of natural diamonds to slump significantly, as well as impacting negatively on consumer confidence and therefore also influencing badly on the demand. So we are aware of this impact. And together with our partners, including the Beers Group, we are focusing relentlessly on category marketing for natural diamonds, as evidenced in our participation in the Luanda Roundtable discussions and followed by the signing of the Luanda Accord, which was hosted by my counterpart in Angola earlier this year, followed by another engagement in South Africa where we signed the accord. So we believe that there are still strong fundamentals that natural diamonds will continue to appeal to consumers. And furthermore, traditional luxury brands continue to steer clear of synthetic adoption. So notwithstanding this, we must remain focused on efforts to stimulate consumer demands, and most notable category marketing. And I should say, just last week we have participated as a country in another activity in the USA where we were promoting the use of natural diamonds as opposed to the synthetic diamonds. And in the short term, synthetic diamonds have had minimal impact on Namibia's revenue specifically. However, in the long term, there is recognition that market dynamics may shift, especially in price-sensitive segments, and therefore the ministry continues to monitor global trends to inform sustainable policy responses. So, Namibia as a producer is protected by the current diamond sorting, valuing, sales and marketing agreement between government and the De Beers group of companies. And this agreement allows De Beers global site holders sales to buy all diamonds remaining after the participation of local site holders and the 15% allocation to Namibia. So this basically means that Namibia as a country does not stockpile any single diamond. We sell all production as a country. However, our average price per carat is being affected by factors beyond our control, and these factors affect the entire diamond industry worldwide, and it's not unique to our situation. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Any further questions? None? Okay, then we... Oh, no, Honorable Member. No. Yes, please. The copies, the Honorable Members, please share the copies of all the answers. The next one is also by Honorable Swartboy to the Minister of Education. Does Honorable Mvula also wish to put that question? Okay. The next one is 132 by Honorable Thomas to the Minister of Information and Communication Technology. Honorable Thomas.
Yes, I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. Honorable Minister of ICT.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you to the Honorable Bishop Thomas for the questions directed to the Ministry of ICT. The question briefly relates to a network situation in the villages of Mahongo, Omega-3, Cheto, and Kwantoko areas. My response is as follows. Following a technical analysis which involved scoping the services required to be provided in the above-mentioned areas, we can confirm that the areas in question face several infrastructure challenges, including a lack of electricity, access to roads, and mobile network service towers. Following estimation and planning conducted by Telecom Namibia, as part of their ongoing efforts to improve population coverage, the plus 200 kilometer road stretch from Mahongo to Kongola requires over 15 base stations, and these are network tower, radio access network towers, to provide standard 3G road coverage with necessary overlap with seamless connectivity. MTC currently has 3 towers in the stretch between Divundu and Kongola, which is Geto, Omega 1 and Omega 2. The above does not include towers at Divundu and Kongola itself. These towers both have 2G and 3G for the past 5 years, which is in response with the subscriber needs in the area, as most users in that particular area only have 2G and 3G enabled devices. It could be possible that the network was done during the set time, rendering the impression that there is no coverage. The area is unfortunately prone to power failures, and MTC relies on NORAD for its power utility support. MTC is currently looking at power alternatives for this site specifically due to those continuous outages. To cover the gaps not covered on the road, additional towers are required to complete the full road coverage of the Babwata Park, which requires a significant amount of capital injection, estimated between 5 to 7 million per site. Just to get the site off the ground and operational, that is the range we are looking at. And that's for only one site. Therefore, The Ministry of ICT is considering a collaborative approach between government and telcos, and the establishment and operationalization of the Universal Service Fund USF is one such initiative. Therefore, Treasury has allocated funds to the Ministry for the construction of these RAN sites to complement the USF to roll out this infrastructure. For the financial year 2024-2025, under Phase 1, a subsidy of 35 million was awarded for the construction of these RAN sites across multiple regions, including this area we're speaking of. These regions were Kavango East, Kavango West, Oshikoto, Ohangwena, and Kunene. And these towers are now providing free uncapped broadband connectivity to 12 schools and 4 clinics, and have been operationalized by the 31st of March 2026. For Phase 2, an allocation of 45 million has been made available for the deployment of the RAN sites, and this is the phase we are in now to support the deployment of these network towers. Furthermore, this will also include, of course, public Wi-Fi hotspots to the surrounding schools or the areas you have indicated, as well as to the health facilities in the areas you have indicated in your question, Honourable Member. So finally, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Member, the Ministry of ICT is committed to modernizing public service delivery and accelerating our digital footprint by ensuring that these sites are also included in this particular Phase 2 of the allocated amount of $45 million to complement the Universal Service Fund with its universal policy and regulations as contained therein. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I so submit.
Thank you. That was by Honourable Thomas. Is that any further question?
No, I do not have any question. I rather want to say thank you very much for the answer. And me myself, I went there. I have confirmed that the NAMPower, they are busy doing something in that area to erect the electricity from Divundu, that side. I think maybe in mid-time.
Very good. Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yes, the next question is still by Honourable Thomas to the Minister of Works and Transport. Do you put the question, Honourable?
Thank you very much. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
Okay, Minister of Works and Transport.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Thomas, Bishop. Your question have a group of 5 sub-questions, of which only one is a question, the rest are statements. So therefore, I will then only address the question, this question 1. Therefore, to answer your lone sub-question, the government has a targeted program through which the construction of rural access roads to schools, health centers, and other government facilities within the catchment area of any district road being constructed will receive priority considerations, ensuring the community of Onangalo will never be left out. Be assured about that. We are clear, Honourable Member, all schools and health facilities must and will be connected to the national road network through roads, what we call access roads. And that is the social contract between the people of Namibia and SWAPO Party, as we continue to provide unmatched leadership in and for this country. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is by Honourable Swart Boy to the Minister of Justice. Do you put the question on behalf of the... okay. Honourable Minister of Labour. Yes. Yeah, one moment, Honourable Minister of Labour. Yes, Honourable Ampanda.
I'm just raising, because there is rule 232, I've been looking for it. It's saying acting for the absent member. And the rule says a member may, if so authorized by another member, not then present, give a notice on the last mentioned member's behalf of a question or a motion.
Two what?
232.
32.
My reading of that rule is that if you can act on behalf of another member to put the question, if you are so authorized equally to on the subject matter to deal with that matter, I actually think that Rule 232 would allow a member so delegated to follow up on behalf, because how can you put a question on behalf of the person and you cannot have a follow-up on behalf of that person who have mandated you? So I'm thinking that maybe 232 might be our refuge, because I don't understand. We just say, no, you are not allowed, but no one says no. But I think 232 assist us there.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Ampanda, 232 say, a member, if so authorized by another member, not then present, give notice. Give notice. So it means this member has indicated that I give notice that on this day I will move. So in this case, give notice means you will move that question on behalf of that other member, and only that and nothing else. That's why the point is saying give notice on behalf, because it's not possible for another member to give you a follow-up question, because the member doesn't know what the answer will be. So therefore they cannot give you to ask a follow-up question. So that's the interpretation, but I always say if our intention is something else, let's discuss it when if we think that we need to amend the rules. But for now, this is what the rules are saying. Yes, then we proceed. Honorable Minister of Labour, may you respond, please? No, we are not. Oh, you mean, no, please don't fight now. No. Honorable member, okay, let's proceed. Let's try to make the most out of this little time that we have left. Yes, Honorable Weiss.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I am obliged to answer to questions raised by Honorable Swartboy, to whom I am in any event indebted for his genuine concern. But before I turn to the specific, allow me, Honorable Speaker, to sketch the reality of our High Court. The court is structured for 30 judges in its current form and setup, and today only 14 positions are filled. 7 funded vacancies exist, mostly in the civil stream, where the burden is heavier. Retirement, promotions, and new court functions have left gaps, with further retirement expected sooner than later. As a result, judges who previously managed about 130 cases are now managing between 260 and 280 each. The pressure, on both judges and court administrative staff is immense, requiring decisive step in order to, manage the situation. Now, the question one from Honorable Swartboy, or insofar as question 1 is concerned, I put it on record that I'm fully briefed on the status of affairs within the judiciary. Judges across both the High and the Supreme Courts particularly in the former civil stream, face overwhelming workloads. On question 2, to address the situation, the Judicial Service Commission, as an independent body, is actively recruiting and widening the pool of potential nominees. They are also increasing research support for judges, and on the remuneration, the Commission is reviewing the condition of service in pursuit for attractive and sustainable judicial careers. On question 3, regarding the appointment of expatriates as judges on our bench, I want to put on record that while our preference and preoccupation is always for qualified Namibians, we have, when necessary, drawn expertise from SADC partners. This practice ensures justice delivery continues, but national candidate will always take precedence. On question 4, Honorable Speaker, building the next generation of judges is not only vital, but it's urgent. In this regard, the aspirant judge training program has been revived and held annually. And this year, it's equally lined up. It's obvious to say that this targeted program is already equipping legal professionals, magistrates and academic for possible appointment, with the annual session planned, as I indicated earlier. The Judicial Training Institute is also being considered to provide structured preparation for both serving and aspiring judges. Honorable members, this situation is serious, but it's not being met with complacence. Structural remedies are underway, recruitment is active, and investment in future judicial capacity is progressively being made. With sustained support, as we solicit from this august House, we can ensure that justice in Namibia remain accessible, fair, and resilient for the future generation to come. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Member. The next question is also by Honorable Swartboy to the same Minister of Justice. That's question number 139. Does the member put the question on behalf of the Honorable Member? Okay. The next one is 140 by Honorable Eku to the Minister of Urban and Rural Development. Both the Minister and Deputy are not here. And the Deputy also is not here. No, they are not here. Yeah, so the next is 141 by Honorable Ampanda to the Minister of Justice. Does the Honorable Ampanda put the question?
Yes.
Yes, the Minister of Justice, you have the floor. Okay, the member has asked for leave. If he's not prepared, there's nothing that we can do. Okay, next time, Honorable Minister. The next one is 143 by Honorable Ihemba to the Minister of Home Affairs. Honorable Ihemba, do you put the question? Yes, Minister.
Can I ask the indulgence of the House for the question to stand over until next week?
Okay, so the Minister seeks for understanding to defer the answer to next week. The next one is 146 by Honorable Lukato to the Minister of Urban and Rural Development. Both Minister and Deputy are not here. The next one is 149 by Honorable Mongo to the Minister of Justice. Does someone put the question on behalf of Honorable Mongo? Minister of Justice? Okay, so the minister seeks to have the method answering defer to next week. Now we proceed 152 by Honorable Klute. No, let me hope that we will manage to clear these question papers before we go into recess. That's my plea. The 152 is Honorable Klute to the Minister of International Relations and Trade. Honorable Klute, does someone put the question? You defer the question?
Yes.
Okay. So okay, then the next question is by Honorable Mbuti. Yeah, the question is not put, the member is not here unfortunately, and therefore we can't insist. Yeah. Then the next question is 156. Maybe these are issues we need to look at for the future. Because now, today the minister is there to answer, the member asking is not there, tomorrow the member is there, the minister is not there, so it becomes circle, you know. 156 by Honorable Mbuti to the Minister of Gender. Honorable Mbuti, are you here? Does someone put the question on behalf of the member? Okay, Minister of Gender. Okay, Deputy Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members. The question was having 3 questions under one. The first one, how is the ministry ensuring that the children experience sexual violence and actual protected beyond policy statements and awareness drives? Firstly, I would like to state that policies and awareness campaigns are just essential as any other intervention aimed at addressing violence against children. I would like to highlight that the issue of violence is not the sole responsibility for the Ministry of Gender, Equality and Child Welfare. The issue requires a multi-sector partnership between government, civil society and the community or parents. The responsibility of the government is to create enabling environment that promotes prevention, deterrence, identification, and response to violence against children. The ministry's effort has been intentional in the following way. To understand the prevalence of violence against children in general, including sexual abuse, the ministry strategically undertook the Violence Against Children survey. In addition, the ministry, in partnership with a civil society organization, undertook disrupting harm study aimed at understanding the various forms of online violence affecting children, enabling the development of target policies and intervention to effectively combat and prevent such harm. To take the recommendation of the Violence Against Children survey, the ministry's partnership with the civil society organization development the National Plan of Action to prevent and respond to violence against children. Furthermore, the Ministry of Justice undertook a review of Combating of Domestic Violence Act and the Combating of Rape Act with the purpose of strengthening protecting measure of victims and survivors of gender-based violence and rape. As a part of prevention efforts and in a partnership with the Ministry of Health and Social Service, the parent program was rolled out and it addressed matter of violence at home and teaches parents skills on how to identify keep children safe and how to report cases. As a part of the prevention effort and in a partnership with the Ministry of Health and Social Service, the parent program was developed to address issues of violence in the home. It equipped parents with skills to identify risks, keep children safe, and report cases promptly. The ministry developed social workers countrywide to all gender-based violence units for proper responsible cases management. Recruitment is ongoing, but is challenged but shortage of graduate social workers. Community responsibility, sport is to report it. The sport is to report it. Campaign encourage community to play an active role in identifying and reporting harmful or unsafe behavior by raising awareness and empowering individuals to speak up. The community.
Yes, proceed, Honorable Deputy.
The community help create safer, more inclusive environment. Collective vigilance and timely reporting are crucial for preventing harm and ensuring accountability. This partnership between authorities and community members strengthens protection and promotes shared responsibility for safety. The Children Care Protection Act mandates certain professionals to report cases for violence against children. Challenges around reporting persist. At this point, I would like to commend life skills teachers who are taking this legal duty seriously. Most of the cases reported to the ministry come through the life skills. The violence against children study revealed that most of the abuse against children occur within safe spaces such as school and homes. Therefore, this places a duty and responsibility of parents and the community to report cases of violence against children. The ministry response effort can only affect when cases are reported properly. This reality highlights the essential need for sustained and comprehensive public education and awareness initiatives to empower community, encourage timely reporting, and enhance overall vigilance against abuse. Continuous engagement ensures that the public is well informed, responsive, and active participate in safeguarding vulnerable individuals. Question 2. Yes? You are the one who asked the question. Why has the ministry not implement stronger digital protection and the well-resourced safe houses instead of relying mostly on campaign and partnership? The answer: the ministry established an online coordinating task force comprising of various stakeholders responsible for developing effective response mechanism and advise government on digital safety measures. Cases of online children sexual exploitation and abuse are treated with the same priority and legal as a physical offline offense. This includes through process for reporting, prosecuting offenders, and providing essential psychological support to survivors, ensuring holistic and victim-centered response to the crimes. Number 3, and the last one, why does the ministry continue to prioritize campaign over the effective children protection system and social workers? The ministry has allocated and dedicated budget vote specifically for shelters, which not only support the maintenance of existing facility but also enable to strategic expansion of safe houses across all the region. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now the next question is 156. No. We followed. The public followed. It's okay. Honorable member, can we now go to the next one by Honorable Engombe? To the Minister of Industries. Okay, Honorable Engombe, do you put the question? Okay, Honorable Engombe, do you put the question?
Honorable Speaker.
To the Minister of Industries.
This question I'll put, although the last session that we had, the last day of the session before recess, this question was supposed to receive a ministerial statement, and I believe that the minister is most probably ready to give me that ministerial statement, and afterwards maybe to give me a copy as well.
No, I want to hear, are you putting the question or not?
Yes, I'm putting.
Okay, so Minister, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I said to be guided because a decision was taken by the House, which decision said I should make a ministerial statement, and which I'm prepared to do next week. Because for now, I'm thinking we would probably not reverse the decision that we already took to make a ministerial statement instead of responding to the question in its current form.
Yeah. Honorable members, can somebody assist me what is actually being said here? I don't understand. I hear the words that are being expressed, but I'm not getting what exactly is being said. Because if the Honorable Minister, you can take your seat, if what the Honorable Hengobe is saying, he wishes to withdraw the question so that he awaits for the Minister to make a ministerial statement, that should come out clear. So that then, even when we come with the question paper the next time, this question will not be there. But the member cannot say, I'm putting the question, but there is a ministerial statement. I'm not quite sure what I'm being asked to do. Is the question being withdrawn, Honorable Member?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your guidance.
Yeah.
I definitely will withdraw the question and wait for the ministerial statement.
Very good. So the question is withdrawn. Thank you. Then we proceed 158 by Honorable Nashinge to the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Nashinge, do you put the question? Okay. Right Honorable
100%.
Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Yeah, the electronic one can be made hard copy. Mshinda, we'll send it. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Leader of the Opposition. Thank you for the... No, I must... Leader of the official opposition in Parliament. Yes, thank you very much. The question, of course, was last year, September 25, 2025. That's how long ago that was. A number of things have happened, be that as it may. Let me just delve into the question, into the answer rather. And that pertains to the award mandate granted to VG Capital by GIPF. The response we have is as follows. The executive management in 2022 made a recommendation to the investment committee of the Board of Trustees to award a mandate to VG Capital, which in turn recommended to the Board of Trustees, which granted conditional approval in 2022 subject to VG Capital meeting specific conditions as set out by the fund. VG Capital was one of the 4 fund managers who were given conditional approval to receive investment management mandate from the GIPF in March 2023, subject to them meeting specific conditions set by the GIPF. This is after the fund ran requests for information, followed by requests for proposals. The conditions to be met differed per fund manager, setting broad parameters for the legal agreement that will ensue. Some fund managers met their conditions earlier and final approval was granted then, while others took time to meet the conditions. The first mandate agreement to that effect was signed in August 2024. Final approval and conclusion of mandated agreements were executed for each of the 3 fund managers, as each met the approval conditions set to GIPF satisfaction. VG Capital did ultimately fulfill its conditions, and final approval was granted during July 2025. That means not too far from the date the question was asked, which is September 2025. The process of awarding investment management mandates at GIPF is conducted through request for proposals and is facilitated by external consultants with expertise in selecting fund managers with the necessary capacity to manage investments. The selection of the aforementioned fund managers in 2022, including VG Capital, was done following that process. In appointing investment managers, the fund is guided by its investment policy with specific reference to guidelines on manager selection, and the process is further guided by an investment manager selection consultant who conducts both an operational and investment due diligence on the investment managers, and based on the outcome of same, recommends to the executive management and board the most suitable investment managers for appointment. The fund's decision in this case was guided by this policy and the consultant's recommendations. Where necessary, the Board of Trustees may request the executive management and or the consultant to conduct further due diligence and obtain further information to enable the BOT to make informed decision. Yeah, Honorable Speaker, these are long things, but it's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Hurry up a bit. Okay, but the one that can indulge me in this will be the mover. Since he's quiet, so I will just go on. Honorable Kalola, he's even too much on the phone, Honorable Kalola. Please follow, please. I think Honorable Member, that is now Honorable the Mover, it is a long answer.
Yes, Honorable.
And I can give it.
Yes.
Eh?
Right, Honorable Prime Minister, I can assist. The Honorable Prime Minister, if you can summarize.
Okay.
Or, and I have actually looked at this, you can make an effort to summarize. But I would like to emphasize this point. Sorry, just take your seat for one moment. I want to say this point because it's very, very important. Yeah, I know that because the rules say the Prime Minister is the leader of government business, sometimes members feel that if something is very important, we should direct it to the Prime Minister. But this rule, I want to cite this rule and say what it says. Rule 131, sub 1A says, the proper object of a question is to obtain information on a question of fact within the official cognizance of the person. So if the Prime Minister is a coordinator, the matters that are happening in various offices are not within the official cognizance of the Prime Minister. And to the extent that the line minister is in the House, it really does not help that questions are directed to the Prime Minister as a coordinator. No, let me just finish the ruling. Because that makes it difficult, even for the Prime Minister to summarize. Because the Prime Minister is not familiar with the details of the cases. Yes, Honorable, don't push it there, because right now I'm trying to be flexible. So I'm trying to be flexible, because if I'm put in a corner, I can very well invoke another provision that empowers. So I will allow the Prime Minister, if the Prime Minister is able to summarize, or the Speaker can allow the maximum time that is allowed for a member to exceed the limit. But we see we are moving towards the closure time. So Prime Minister can try to summarize, but I just want to emphasize that point. So I will be looking at these questions critically. And if I find that the question is misdirected and the PM maybe did not say this one is not for me, I can invoke the rule and say this question must be directed to the Minister. Yes, this question is to the Minister of Finance, who is the line Minister of NAMFISA, which is the oversight authority over GIPF. So GIPF is not under the office of the Prime Minister. Yeah. So let's not even argue there. Please just make use of this flexibility. Don't abuse it, because it can be withdrawn.
Okay.
Yes, Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Mover. Thank you very much for your indulgence.
Yes.
If I may then summarize.
Yes.
Pertaining to the shareholding, because that I think it's very key as an information. Now, the shareholding, to the knowledge of the fund and according to the records in possession of the GIPF, all shareholders of VG Capital are Namibian citizens, with the exception of the technical partner Temo Capital. It is important, though, to note that this RFP was not targeting Namibian shareholders, but qualified Namibian registered asset managers. It should also be noted the fund have no record of a Chinese national as a shareholder of VG in VG Capital. Temo Investment Partners is an unlisted investment management company based in South Africa and is duly licensed there as a financial service provider. From time to time, when GIPF allocates mandates, the fund requires that emerging asset managers partner with experienced technical firms. In the case of VG Capital, they teamed up with Temo Investment Partners, a partner that has successfully passed the GIPF's investment due diligence and reference checks. Now, then it goes on in terms of the request for external consultants reports, etc., which I might maybe just take one. Parliament is a public platform where matters are discussed openly and available to the media and the public. Disclosing documents and reports containing confidential business and private information between transacting parties in Parliament will not be appropriate and could amount to a breach of confidentiality by the party who discloses such information. However, these documents and information can be made available by GIPF for inspection by an authority with relevant powers, including in this case, Parliament and as well as the mover. The responsibility to appoint trustees to the GIPF board vests with the Office of the Prime Minister and the two unions, NANTU, the board, NANTU and NAPU. There is no provision in the GIPF rules, policies, or any other instrument which requires that GIPF board members should be GIPF members. Honorable Speaker, they are talking there. There's equally that's a lighter note. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they can save there, but currently I'm just reading what is in the rules. There is equally no limitation of the number of years that a trustee should serve on the Board of Trustees, be it in the Pensions Fund Act or the GIPF rules or policy. The process for board appointment is such that the appointing authorities are notified by GIPF 4 to 6 months ahead of the existing tenure expiry date. The appointing authorities are informed about the skill set required on the GIPF board and that they are at liberty to either reappoint the current trustee or appoint a replacement. In terms of criteria, the fund advises that the appointment of trustees be done in terms of skills, knowledge, competency, and diversity contained in the board charter.
In terms of continuity and independence, this is ensured through reappointment, which ensures institutional memory regarding independence. This is made possible through appointments of board members who are independent of the fund. In accordance with GIPF Fund Rules, Section 10(1), the Board of Trustees consists of 9 people that are appointed as follows: 6 by the Government of the Republic of Namibia, Fanuel Kisting, Nilian Mulemi, and Mihia Gwama, 2nd, Penda Ithindi, Maria Dax, Tulimeke Mnyika, 3 by organized labor unions, Evans Maswahu, Petros Nevonga, and Lloyd Shanika. The GIPF rules do not prohibit the number of terms a trustee may be appointed to and or serve. Further, in accordance with Section 10(1), subsection 2 of the rules of the fund, the trustees who do not retire from office shall hold office for a period of 3 years, after which they may be reappointed. Thus, the reappointment of the trustees is well within the rules of the fund. So, Honorable Speaker, I think that is the attempts to summarize. But if you would indulge me, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Mover, 2 weeks ago we met with the GIPF. The subject matter also did not, it wasn't too far from issues pertaining to this. And that specifically is to say to GIPF is that in as much as we seek investment outside the borders of the Republic, that we must also be very deliberate to make sure that GIPF invests within the boundaries of our country, especially in the priority areas of housing and so forth. And we also said that the local authorities, for example, could engage with the GIPF so that they can construct houses, including here in Windhoek, such as high-rising buildings and so forth. And then the local authorities can own them. That's one. Secondly, is to say that we must be deliberate as a fund that is meant to be responsible for serving the interest of Namibians, that if and when we discover that there are mistakes made, we speak to each other frankly, such as the case where some of the funds were lost or whatever, those other things that we all know. Yeah, some of those other things that we know, that we converge in a conversation of frankness, and that if such funds could have been used here at home, it would be much better. So what I'm saying finally, honorable members, that GIPF is ours, and GIPF must serve us, and GIPF must advance the national interest of Namibia, and GIPF must ensure that, GIPF must make sure that if the mover, for instance, has an idea to put up a high-rising building in Okalongo, Kahaudano, or in Windhoek, that the mover can also and should also be supported, including Honorable Karonda, can also be supported. No, I'm just saying this is a conversation we had in a serious, on a serious level, that we cannot continue to just expatriate capital to go outside the country. It has to be directed in the country. So I'm making an example of Okalongo and Honorable Karonda as a lighter note, but the serious issue is that the money should also look inward. Even on Malala, if needs be, or the other place of Comrade Kalimbo and Oshombinde. But that is the conversation that we had, Honorable Muga. Honorable Speaker, thank you for your indulgence.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for the responses, even though you were somehow intimidated by the Speaker. But perhaps it's more not necessarily a question, but just a comment on the members, on the owners of the fund, that truly it's about time to move into a direction where during their annual general meetings, they should be given an opportunity to appoint their own, those that are already benefiting, perhaps looking at the age limit from 61 to 64. Because now having NANTU, NAPU, SWAPO affiliates are rewarded to go and take care of the funds of some people that are not even members of SWAPO. It is not fair. Thank you very much.
Okay, no, that one now, Honorable Member, is really out of order. First, this question, first and foremost, your question was misdirected. The oversight over GIPF as a pension fund. I just need to clarify. You are out of order, Honorable Member. That question now is to the Minister of Finance. No. Okay, now you are out of order. Honorable Member, the question resorts under the oversight of the Minister of Finance. That is first and foremost. Secondly, the question is making us accusations. No, I am talking about your last statement. You are out of order. Now, Honorable Member, no, you can't ask a follow-up question, Honorable. What point do you want to raise on?
So, Speaker,
the things you are saying means you didn't check the rules of GIPF. You are just talking.
So, Speaker,
you are wrong. Yes, Honorable Member.
Yes, I'm rising on the point of privilege. We did receive, and we must thank your office. If the office is involved, we did receive a letter from Mr. Muyatwa speaking to National Assembly representation on the Security Commission in line with the Constitution, so that we can attend to that matter. And I just want to request that at the same time, there is a pension fund for members of Parliament, and we have not assigned anybody. And if there's somebody who's there who's saying they are representing us, they are not representing us. So I know that in terms of the rules, there ought to have been people who are representing us on that pension fund. So we have a vested interest as members who contribute. So one, we did not, this 8th Parliament did not assign anyone, and anyone who's busy saying they are representing us, they have not consulted us, we have not assigned anyone. So on that basis, Speaker, can we also please receive a letter, similar letter to the Security Commission, so that we can make the necessary nomination to our... It's privilege, it's privilege.
And at which point are you speaking now?
Yes, on privilege, Speaker.
Point of privilege.
Yes, that's why I'm saying. So, we want to deal with those matters together. Wait, or is it you who's there?
Yes.
So that question, Speaker, no. Because they want my time to rush.
Yes, all of the members' time is going.
Karunda. So what we are saying is that even when the members are asking this question about GIPF, because we were told that it's our pension, even as members of Parliament, is together with the GIPF through some Kuleni thing. So, if they, or whatever, we want to understand what is happening there. So it must be on the agenda so that we can send our designation. Because the question
agenda?
The pension fund for you and I, Speaker, and everyone else.
On which agenda do you want it to be put?
We have received a letter asking for nomination. Or we don't want to just send nomination and bring a motion on it. We want to leave it to you and the secretary.
Yeah.
And Mr. Muyatwa is nodding his head. So please, we want to nominate our representative as the Parliament on our pension fund. And whoever it is, and maybe it look like it's Honorable Tahele. If you look like you are the one who's there saying you are representing us, you are not representing us.
Okay, now let me
You are representing the 7th Parliament. So we want our new people to represent our interest so that we can assign them there. Then through there we can also meet GIPF in the corridors.
Thank you, Honorable Ampanda. Let me respond to that one before we rise. What I will say is that we can agree. I cannot promise that you are going to receive a letter from the secretary, but what I can say, which I think would be of assistance, is that the Minister of Finance should make arrangements to brief the members of Parliament on that issue. Like what is the representation of the members of parliament on the members of parliament and other office bearers pension fund, so that we can be briefed, and then from there we would have clarity on how we proceed. Yeah, so that the Minister of Finance is the chairperson, and the Minister of Finance will be requested to do that. Now, having said that, the House adjourns on automatic adjournment.